didn't have to go. Inshallah. Yeah, but it's cold anyway. I'm glad she didn't come, but I still have an appointment. I left at 7 o'clock. I didn't want 7:30.
I've been in the house all day, I don't know. I just came out yesterday with the answer.
I didn't want to be late. I can't even schedule certain things.
People that are walking and get their buses.
I said the same thing yesterday. I said,
I remember how it used to be, just being out there, smoking.
Yeah.
We got no shelter, we got a bus to come in.
Yep, I said, we need to get there early, and then once I finally left out the house, it was done, then I was looking at the weather, it said it was snowing again. But I don't think it's gonna snow bad, I think it's like more like wind. Yeah. Like an hour ago. 11.
Maybe I was in school. Because I was in class.
Where do you go?
I go to MCC, and I love it. It just makes me, I'm
Yeah, because I got it. Okay. Maybe on the inside out.
So you go to school as well?
School at all. My life.
Oh, school.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Stay like that.
So like you in
Yeah,
like
it's
third grade?
inside out.
Second?
Like your fourth, right?
Oh, fourth, okay.
Yeah.
I went down, let's go back.
Sister, you sure this is the one?
pull that down, pull that leg down. Right.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala falah. Hayya ala falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Alhamdulillah, we praise Allah, we seek His aid and forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evil of our own self, from harm of our own wrongdoing. Whosoever Allah guides, no one can lead astray. Whosoever He leads astray, no one can guide. And I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except Allah, who is one without any partner. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His servant. O believers, fear Allah, you should be here that do not die, except as a Muslim. As you know, on Jumua and on other occasions, when the Prophet ﷺ would address the Muslim, he would always remind them that the top of Allah. That's the first order of business. Remind ourselves, remind myself first, and then I remind you at the top of Allah. Because the Prophet ﷺ said that is the pinnacle of the issue. Allah said, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The most honorable of you in the sight of Allah when you both God conscious, when you both, obedient. Those who adhere and obey the commandments of Allah. Then we're talking about be obedient, to obey Allah and what He commanded you. Stay away from those things that He prohibited. The Prophet ﷺ said, fear Allah wherever you are. Fear Allah wherever you are. You follow up in bad deed with a good deed. And Allah was like out bad deed. And he went on to say, I have good akhlaq, good conduct. You interact with people. That's a part of the manifestation of your Allah consciousness, with your behavior. Two sides of the same coin. It's why the Prophet said that the thing that most of the people will into Jannah or is taqwallah, the fear of Allah, the conscience of Allah, in good behavior. And so when we look at the state of our ummah today, we look at the conduct of Muslims, we need more taqwa. We need to again to develop ourselves more, and focus a lot more than we're doing on how to be a better Muslim. How to be a better Muslim. commanded us to do, because again, when we interact with people, again, everyone has rights over us. Allah has rights over us. The Prophet has rights over us. We have rights over ourselves. We have rights. Our family members, our neighbors. Everybody has rights. The animals have rights. When you start looking at the rights that we owe the creation of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, it all is a reflection of how we behave and how we interact. Think about it. Okay. Think about the hadith of the lady. She the cat. She tied the cat up, all right, and she didn't feed it, and the cat died. The Prophet said she's going to hell for that. She didn't give the cat his right. That's character. You treat the animals, you treat Allah's creation. So having good behavior and good manners as you interact with people is very, very important. You look around today, Muslims, we're fighting each other, we're killing each other. All not a conduct, man. We're oppressing each other, let alone, it's enough that the non-Muslims, are doing what they're doing to us, and we're doing it to ourselves. And we wonder when Allah help will come to us, and we can't even help, discipline ourselves enough to give each other the right. We don't know how to solve our problems. Allah said, when two parties of the people get into a fight, make peace between them. Keep between them. You see, simple, And if one transgresses beyond bounds against the other, then all y'all get together and then put the transgressor in check. For Allah loves those, man, So it's all in the Quran, and it's all in the hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The solution to all our problems, but we're not going back to the sources, to deal with our problems and our situations. So again, the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and having good conduct, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us all. Constant struggle, it's work. It's work. We have to work on ourselves. To become the better person, become the better Muslim. That's what we have to do. A lot of times we put a lot of emphasis on, the ibadah, worshiping Allah and carrying out the rituals, but not enough emphasis put on, hey, developing myself. How can I be a better Muslim? How can I be a better Muslim? Of course, the Prophet was an example. Like Allah told me, that kind of, you have indeed the messenger of Allah, beautiful. Oh my. Look at the Prophet's character, look at his conduct, amazing. So, alhamdulillah, and so, may Allah help us. May Allah guide us. So after saying that, I want to talk about the topic of my khutbah today is Ulu al-Himma. Have high aspiration. Don't be a mediocre Muslim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين تبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه أعد لهم جنات تجري تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا ذلك الفوز العظيم. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this surah number 9, verse 100, the foremost in faith, the foremost in the deen are the muhajirin. You know the muhajirin. And the ansars. And those who follow them in good. Well pleased is Allah with them, and they with Allah. And they will enter God beneath which rivers flow. And that is the highest achievement. Okay? SubhanAllah. Beautiful verse. Sabiqun. That's a rank. They're the foremost. In some translations of the Quran, they say the vanguard. The vanguard of Islam are the Muhajirin and the Ansar. And then those who followed them. So Allah is reminding us, that not only should we follow the messenger of Allah, we mentioned a few minutes ago, but Allah is reminding us to follow them because they are the role model for us, the companions of the Prophet Muhajirin and the Ansar. And so when you look at their lives, you study their lives, there's a hadith or there's a narration related by Abdul ibn Masud, where he said that Allah looked at all of the creation during the time of the Prophet. And he looked at the hearts of all the creation, and he saw that the Prophet Muhammad had the purest heart of all of human beings. And so Allah thus chose him to be his last messenger. Then Allah looked again at the hearts of the rest of creation, and he saw that the companions of the Prophet, had the purest heart of all of humanity. And he chose them to be the companions of the Prophet, to help him with working for the deen. And they made them, the Prophet Muhammad's ministers, and helpers to establish Allah. And we all know that they were successful. Allah. It had a special mission because the prophet was the last of the prophets that would come. And when we read the Quran and we read the history of all the other Anbiya that came before the prophet, no one did what the prophet did because Allah had all of that on hold. Saving it for the Prophet Muhammad. No one had the kind of support and followers, none of the prophets that the Prophet Muhammad had. Even when we just check out the history of the Bani Israel, right? When Musa alayhi salam brought the Bani Israel from Egypt, you see, Musa didn't have the support that the prophet had. Because Allah said in order for him to gain the promised land that Allah had promised, they had to go in and fight for it. And they refused. They said, no, Musa, you and Harun, y'all go fight while we sit here what? See. So as a result of their stubbornness, and we know about, the things that they were guilty of in terms of being disobedient and not supporting their prophets. All right? Take nothing from the prophets themselves. They did their job, but the people didn't follow. You see? And so Allah called Moses, caused the Bani Israel to dwell in the desert for 40 years. That generation had to die off because their hearts wasn't clean. They was messed up. You see? Right? Even Musa alayhi salam didn't get into the promised land, but he asked Allah to, let him die near the gate, near his entrance. Okay. So he had to suffer, but that was what Allah had decreed for him. But he's going to be rewarded because he wasn't unsuccessful. See? But he had to remain with his people, that generation. So when that generation died off, then the next generation, they were different. Musa's successor, Joshua, and Caleb, they went on in, and that's a whole story. But the point is, that the Prophet Musa didn't receive that support. But when the prophet gave his farewell speech, his farewell hymn, there were hundreds, the historians and the scholars said it was over 100,000 Muslims that he was addressing. You see? And the Prophet asked him, have I told you the truth? Have I delivered the message? And they said, yes, you delivered the message. And he said, let those who are present relate, what I've said today, or these days, and these last few days he did doing the farewell hajj, let those who are present relate what I've taught you, to those who were not present. But the support was there. And when he died, that core group of people, that Sabiqun, all right? The Muhajirin and the Ansar, amongst the brothers and the sisters, they were there. You see? Okay? And they were in support, alhamdulillah. And so when the Prophet passed on, they stepped up. They stepped up the work, the mission, the vision, that the Prophet ﷺ gave them. They ran with it. They ran with it, The Prophet was no longer alive. They were shocked. They were traumatized when the Prophet died. But, once the smoke cleared, if you will, but we know that that's one of the worst tragedies that had ever befallen the Ummah. And all our scholars talk about that today. Because when the Prophet died, it was all messed up. So they didn't know what to do. Even Umar ibn Khattab, he's like, the Prophet didn't die. Anybody said that he did, I'm going to cut their head off. He was, but he was wrong, all right? And Abu Bakr had to pull his coat, man. Oh, man, he's dead. Anybody worship Muhammad? Muhammad is dead. But worshiping Allah ever living, he never died. So the movement and the work, for Allah's deen, the Prophet done taught y'all. So we have to move forward more or less, you see? And they did. They did. And so this is why Allah said, they're the Sabiqun. All right? The Muhajirin and the Ansar, and those who will follow them, those who will look at their example and follow them. Allah chose them. And so we get a lot of inspiration by studying their lives. Alhamdulillah. And so, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says also in Surah Waqiyah, وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ أُولَٰئِكَ الْمُقَرَّبُونَ فِي جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ ثُلَّةٌ مِّنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنَ الْآخِرِينَ. And the foremost in faith, them and those who follow them, okay, will be the foremost. Ask yourself, would you like to be a part of the group that is Sabiqun? Foremost? Think about it. You see? So the Sabiqun is Sabiqun, Ulaika al-Muqarrabun. They will be close to God. They will be the ones that's close to Allah. The foremost. All right? And they will enter paradise. You see? A large number from those of old and a small number from later times. Okay? Think about that. Early Muslims, a large number of them. They were the foremost. And they worked for this deen. Okay? Their faith was strong. Okay? But in later times, it'd be few. The later times is the time we live in. Or the time after them, right on up to the day, right on up to their judgment. The belief would be less. The Prophet ﷺ said, Islam began as a stranger, and it will end as a stranger. So glad tied into the stranger, but the strangers are the Sabiqun, along with the companions. So we in there, so we fit in that group. A few of later times. That's if we are living the deen like the companions did. We're practicing the deen like the companions did. And we're striving the way the companions did. The Prophet ﷺ said, Sahih Muslim, Inna Allah kataba al-ihsana ala kulli shay. That Allah loves, that Allah obligates, kataba. Like kutiba alaykum siyam, fasting is ordained on you. Well, excellence is ordained upon you in everything. Everything we do, that we should strive to perfect it. Strive for perfection, to have high aspiration, to attain whatever it is, from an individual level and a group level. Be the best. Like you hear that phrase, be the best you can be. That's the mantra of the Muslim. We're supposed to be moving around like, we'll be the best. Because Allah loves it. In another narration, like by, I forgot, but Imam rahimahullah said, Sahih. The similar statement where the Prophet said, Inna Allah azza wa jal mu'sina yuhibbul ihsan. Allah is excellent and He loves excellence. Okay? Allah's excellent. So we should strive to be excellent. We should strive to excel, in the deen. Perfect your religion. Stay on top of it. Amin. إن العاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. And so we say, alhamdulillah, we as Muslims, it is important for us not to just be Muslim. Say I'm Muslim, stay focused on the ritual, the bigger picture of what we're supposed to be doing. If you imagine the kindness of the Prophet, look, if we take them as a role model, seriously, they were some extraordinary people. They strove for excellence. I remember listening, reading the hadith, where the Prophet asked one of the, I think it was Lateef and God, he told me, Lateef and God would say, I didn't go out. You know what I'm saying? And so when he finished, he said, you have such a beautiful recitation, that Allah loves this, some words similar to that. And so Ubay's response was, did you really like it? If I'd have known that Allah loved my recitation and you loved that recitation, I'd even recite it even better. That's how they was, always looking to perfect, always to please Allah, and always doing the things that would please the Messenger of Allah. So again, Allah gave them success because again they understood the importance of the things that Allah revealed to them. They went beyond just making salah. And so I want to remind you got sitting there, look, you young people, you got a lot of time in front of you, inshallah. You can do a lot of things for Islam. You can do a lot of things for the community. Yes, you can. You're young. I go back, subhanAllah. Many years I was talking to Abdul, how old are you, man? You told me, I said, whoa, wow, man. And I realized, okay, you're shape. You're shape. Shabab, ain't no longer Shabab. Like, alhamdulillah. Okay? Wow. But our young people, you have to begin to look now while you're young. What can I do for Islam? What can I do for the Ummah? Donald Trump, what about Donald Trump? Donald Trump running around talking about, he has inspired a movement. He has inspired a movement in America. The Mecca movement. Make America great again. He's serious. And so we, no matter what we may think about it, make America great. So I said to myself, why don't we make the deen great? Why don't we make the Ummah great? When are we going to pick up the Ummah, man? Right now we way down, right? We so confused, right? We following everybody. Like the Prophet said, we'll follow them, we'll follow the unbelievers in a lynching hole, because we're ignorant of what we got. What we got. The world right now needs Islam. The world right now needs new leadership. Islam, the Muslim Ummah needs to be revived on the pattern of the Prophet and the companions of the Prophet. All we have to do is look at what they did and say, wow, let's go for it. The Prophet gave us a vision. The Prophet gave us a vision, gave the Ummah a vision. And that vision stands to the day of judgment. And we're supposed to work for that vision. What do you think that vision is, man? To make Islam great. To make Islam great. We should not tolerate Islam being on the bottom. Allah does not want the unbelievers to be over the believers. How could you accept that? Can you imagine the companions of the Prophet accept this arrangement we find ourselves in today? And of course, we once had civilization and all that, and throughout history, Muslims did some wonderful things, but they messed up too. The Khulafa Rashidin, how they expanded Islam, the Umayyad dynasty, wow, great things. And you people romanticizing about it. And the Abbasids, wow, Harun Rashid, right? The Ottoman Empire, so the Imam the Magnificent, the Muslim in Andalus, all of the great things that they did, yes. They had their chance. Stand your chance. What we gonna do? See, I get inspired by reading that history. I do. I get inspired, you know. But I don't get caught up. I say, okay, what am I gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we going to do as a community? And especially, you brothers and sisters today, I'm addressing you, the Black American Muslim. I don't know. Stop looking in the ends of the earth for success. With your Islam. Look at yourself. Look at your family. Look at your community. Look at your leadership. So how can we improve? How can we, organize ourselves better to move forward, to establish the things that 20 years or 50 years from now, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren will look back and say, this is what they did. Not about what I did, not about what Abdul did, and not about what Fatima did, but what we as a community, what we as a Jumua did. Just like we talk about the Umayyads, right? And we talk about the Ottomans and the Abbasids, right? And the Ayyubids, right? So now, we talk all these dynasties. When you read the history, they did some great things. We always talk like today to solve the problem of what's going on in Palestine. We need another Saladin. What do we say? Okay? All right? And that's because of, his image and what he did stands out. And we're proud of that. That's all that's the best we can do. See, what are we going to do? You see? Not me as an individual, but what we collectively, you guys, Allah, God bless you, be able to revive the Jumua here in Barakah. All right? Let us build a mosque. Let us build a mosque. Because Barakah, this building don't necessarily belong to us. When are we going to establish some institutions, you see, that we can be proud of? And say, yeah, this is what we did. Think about it, man. You want to leave, ask yourself, what kind of legacy are we going to leave? Some of us may have talent, maybe some of us, can become great scholars and great leaders, like, great scholars, like, Imam Bukhari and, Ibn Taymiyyah, Imam Ghazali, and, to make a contribution to knowledge or the intellectual, heritage of Islam. They can make a contribution, but the community of the Jumua, us working together collectively. Think about it. We're going to commit ourselves to the work. And I'm talking about something that I've done. I'm not talking in a vacuum. Something I've done. That's all I know. I can't talk about nothing else. I can't be an individual. I was never a floater. I was never a floater from minds to mind. You establish nothing that way. When you come together and say, hey, I'm down. I'm down. I understand. I want my children, I want my grandchildren to say, my father, my grandfather, this is what they did. You see that building? You see those institutions? You see that school? You see those things going on? You see the services that have been established here? I don't know. So 10, 20, 30 years down the line, people will know what you did. It speaks for itself. We as a community, we as a people, Black American Muslim, Black American, and I'm not prejudiced. We want Ummah, the rest of the Ummah. But the rest of the Ummah doing what they doing. Or done did what they done did. And they're coming here in America, and they building, and we just watching. Why are we watching? Why are we watching? We need to get busy. We need to get serious. Stop playing. Stop wasting time. We need to get busy. We have to make a commitment. We have to come together as not unity and say, all right, Imam, you're a shaykh, and you have some good leadership. I know, I'm raised. We got good leadership. Dr. Irshad, and Abu Bakr, and Sheikh Yusuf. You got good leadership. You can trust them. You're honest. And you see the work that they've been trying to do. They're trying to bring the people back. We need commitment. We need commitment. Brothers coming. What what you need me to do, I'm ready. You know, and especially our young people. You know, I see a lot of young people here. We need you. The Prophet had young people around him. He didn't have a whole bunch of old people. Most of his companions were under 30 years old. I remember, just reading, when the Prophet at the conquest of Mecca, and I always like to cite these examples of the youth, so young people can see their role. At the conquest of Mecca, when the Prophet finished his business in Mecca, he went to Hunain, and they dealt with that in Taif, and he came back, and so before he left Mecca to go back to Medina, wherever he lived, he appointed a young man in charge. I bet you probably don't know who his name is. You don't know. Because you don't read, you don't study. But if you read, you say, wow, Atawas ibn Usaid. Atawas ibn Usaid. He was 18 years old. The Prophet made him the mayor or the governor of Mecca. He was a new Muslim. He had skills, obviously. He had skills. So the Prophet put him in charge. He was a brand new Muslim. And so when I read that some years ago, it blew my mind. I said, wow, man. And people got to make you feel like, well, you got to be a scholar to be a leader. Like, well, where we get that from? You got to be a scholar. You got to know X amount of hadiths. You should have knowledge of the deen. Absolutely. But you have skills. Leadership. And some people are born leaders. Absolutely. Really. Okay? And so we have to start looking for the leaders in our Jumua. And that's why I'm saying to you young people, step up, man. Don't be afraid, man. And we have many examples of young people around the Prophet that he used. And he would spend time with the young people because they were important to him. You see, and he taught them, and he trained them, and he mentored them, and he prepared them, and he told them that one day Persia and Rome, they're going to be under your feet. See, that's high ambition, man. Huh? What? Me? I remember at the Battle of Ahzab, the Battle of Khandaq, the Battle of the Trench, when they were digging the trench, and they came across a boulder they couldn't break, so they kept hitting it, wasn't breaking. And so the Prophet came up, what y'all doing? Y'all Rasulullah, this boulder is too huge for us to break. He said, Prophet, give me the axe. And he hit the axe, and he hit it, and he hit it 3 times. The 3 times sparks went in 3 different directions. And Salman al-Farisi said, Ya Rasulullah, how do you interpret that? And he said, hey, the sparks that went to this direction, Persia. Said, we're going to take that. We're going to rule over that. And the spot went this way, Rome, we're going to rule over that. You see, and the other spot went toward Yemen, so we're going to rule over that. And so within 30 years, the Prophet, after the Prophet died, all of that was under Islam. The young people, they understood. But of course, when the Prophet made those comments, the hypocrites in his community, they start sniggering under their breaths. I'm crazy. He crazy. How the heck he think we gonna do that when we're struggling? We can't even feed ourselves. We can't even adequately defend ourselves. By this confederacy surrounding Medina in this war. You see what I'm saying? But the Prophet's vision came true. You see, because the believers, the young men and women in the community, alhamdulillah, they were always inspired by the Prophet's vision. You see? And so the Prophet said that one day Islam will enter every house that night and day reaches. Every house that night and day reaches, Islam will enter it, and it will give dominance to those who believe, you see what I'm saying? And humiliation to those who reject and refuse. No matter what house, no matter what that house is built of. I mean, so many traditions where the Prophet gave to the companions, letting them know, look, Islam has a bright future. You see? So up to us now. We have to make it work, just like the companions did. That's why, again, they're the foremost. But if we follow the example, Make the commitment, alhamdulillah, strive for excellence. Don't accept, don't accept the situation where you find yourself in. We accept the qadr of Allah. You see, we say, I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like this. If Allah says that He does not want the unbelievers to be over us, then how do we change that? So we have to start with ourselves. Start with yourself. Ask yourself where your faith at, where your iman. Check yourself. One of the things, inshallah, hopefully maybe we can talk afterwards, inshallah. Yusuf has set up a dinner, we'll follow up to this. Young people, I know when I became a Muslim, everybody that know me, they say, man, you ain't changed. When you were 40, you the same way you were back then. And when I first became Muslim, I was so excited about Islam. I said, we're gonna put the flag behind Allah on the White House. Talk like that. So we have to be careful about that now. You know what I'm saying? But back then, they got the attitude, man. And we ran with the deen. You see? We ran with the dawah. And part of running with the deen and running with the dawah, well, you have to study. You have to learn the religion. So you young people got to learn the religion. You have to learn the deen, man. You got to learn the Quran, learn Arabic, learn Tajweed, learn the fundamentals of Islam, learn the Hadith of Jibreel, learn these basic things, man. Make your foundation strong. You see what I'm saying? Avoid the arguments that, some of the intellectuals like debate and different issues of Akida. Don't get all caught up in that stuff. Man, learn the basics, man. Ground yourself in the basics. Man. Get under a teacher. Get under a teacher. Don't just do it by yourself. Let me go on the internet and contact Sheikh Google. No, demand that the brothers set up classes. They don't have classes. You take Yusuf and Abu Bakr. They got to have classes to teach you people. And I know they know. I know they know. They can teach you. They're qualified. You see? But you have to be willing. And this is for the sisters as well. We have to learn the deen. We can't establish the deen on ignorance. So we can go on and on and on about all the things that we need to do. We need to have that high ambition and aspiration, to pursue excellence, inshallah, because Allah loves excellence in everything that we do. May Allah forgive me for being so long, but inshallah we'll continue later, inshallah we'll follow up. And we ask Allah to bless all of you. And we ask Allah to increase us all in our faith and our commitment to the deen. We ask Allah to help our brothers in Palestine. That's our brothers. We ask Allah to help our brothers in Sudan, in Afghanistan, in Africa, in Sahel. It's messy, man. It's real messy. But all we can do is pray for them. We send them some money. We have work to do here. Don't allow yourself to continue to be marginalized. Let our immigrant brothers look at us and, wow, look at the brothers, look what the African American brothers doing. They really doing it, yeah. They shouldn't just Abu Bakr and Rashad and look at the community. Them brothers are rolling. So when they see you, they respect you. They respect what you do. So we ask Allah to give us the strength, give us the patience, increase us in our iman, and to help us in our taqwa, and help us in our good character and behavior. We ask Allah to bring our hearts together, and support ourselves and our work. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة كالصلاة الصلاة كالصلاة الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
gaps, close up the gaps, keep the line straight. Allow people so they can. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا وإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله
like to be addressed as a guest, but this is his family, the family of believers, inshallah, we appreciate you, inshallah. And if you want to, inshallah, Imam will address the whole Jamaat, inshallah, concerning whatever matters it is that you want to discuss with them, or question that you may have for them, inshallah. For those of you who don't know, we have lunch coming. Pretty. Inshallah, we got some baked chicken, vegetables, rice, dessert. Amin as well. So we don't need the pick up the rug, inshallah, and set out some tables for us, inshallah. Everybody is able to help, I appreciate it, so we can get this done now. So we can get to the nitty-gritty. I'm waiting to get to these matters. That's what I'm waiting on, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, inshallah. We make dua for our sister Wadis. I believe Sister Wadis. Brother Abdul also needs your dua. He's very sick, he's very ill, and he asked me today to ask the Jamaat to make dua. If you don't know, dua, that changes things. It helps the sick, the needy, those who are sick, those who are shed in. Dua plays a great part in the relief of that individual, whoever it may be, inshallah. So make dua,
Thank you.
So no more willpower, it's like.